Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, here we have a power supply that we're looking at in this video. This is a Sunus Suntek International Corp power supply. I've had this thing on my shelf for quite a few years. Power supply itself works fine, but there's actually something else going on. So I bench tested it earlier today because I'm going through some other power supplies to see if I can find any candidates to power some Multiplex 390s. This unit here is a bit dated. It's more 5V heavy. It can put out up to 32 amps on its plus 5V rail. That'd be great for an old like Athlon XP system, but it claims to be able to put out 16 amps on its 12V rail. So I mean that could be enough for a Multiplex 390. Not sure if I'm going to use this on a 390 or not. But one thing is for sure is I tested it earlier today, and after I tested it, I noticed I heard something loose inside the unit. I was like, oh great. So I wonder if the thing didn't give me a fireworks show. Well, let's go and take the cover off and have a look inside and see what is loose inside here. Also, before we actually open it up, if you look carefully at this unit, for those of you who know your OEM power supplies out there from like what you'll find in like HP, Dell, systems like that, this thing may look kind of familiar to you. Let's go ahead and take the cover off and have a look inside. So, it appears I may have taken the cover off this thing before in the past. Don't remember if I've ever done a video. But here's something pretty interesting. So let me go ahead and get loose whatever was laying in here. And yep, if you look right there, there's a dead stink bug. A stink bug. Like, how did that get inside here? Well, it could have easily got into that grill. But I mean, this thing been sitting on the shelf for quite some time, and I have no idea how long that stink bug has been in there. Yeah, guys, I can't stand these things. Camera ain't really wanting to focus. There we are. So you can see, stink bug. I'm gonna say it's probably been dead for quite some time. Because I'm going to say it's probably been dry enough that it was dried out enough to where it couldn't really conduct energy. So, this power supply is actually a rebranded HiPro. I don't usually find HiPros in, like, normally you find HiPro power supplies in OEM systems like Dell and HP, sometimes E-machines. But here we have one that was rebranded and sold through a retail channel. This came out of a custom built system. You can tell it's more of a retail oriented supply, since it has the integrated main switch on it. Most OEM supplies typically don't have that. But I will say the thing is actually built pretty well. It does have the infamous conductive glue in it, or the glue that can come conductive if it's exposed to heat. But I'm not seeing too much of that going on here. At least the glue, there's not a whole lot of it in here, and it's not so much in areas where I'm really concerned about. So this unit, if I didn't mention already, it does appear to be from 2005, because I want to say there's a sticker on the unit somewhere that has a date up around 2005. But also the HiPro capacitors in this unit are also dated 2005. Now this unit has been unplugged since about noon today, which was 8 to 9 hours ago. So I'd say it's safe to work in. You want to be careful with these things though. But yeah, I've never seen this before, a HiPro that was rebranded and sold as a like a retail off-the-shelf power supply. And the build quality of this unit does remind me of like you would see in an OEM HiPro, like for HP or Dell. But it actually does seem to be a little better. It's got, I mean, for what it matters, I mean, it's got a socketed fuse. It's got, I mean, the build quality's there. It's definitely not bad at all. The thing about some of these HiPro units is the ones that run cooler, like this one, the fan actually does run at a more moderate speed. It doesn't run super slow like you have on the OEM HiPros. All the caps in this unit are fine. There's no bulging caps in here. And we have mostly TiPo and I think a couple of L-Techs in there. If I can make out the labels right, it's hard to see them. But yeah, this supply here, not sure if the 5-volt standby is 2 transistor. I don't think it is. I think it does. These HiPros are a little, sometimes some of these units are a little hard to identify what their 5-volt standby design is. But I mean, this thing's from the PCB in this unit is actually dated 2004, so it's not a super old design. However, it is built to accommodate older systems as well as newer systems too. It's got a minus 5-volt rail, and it's a bit more 5-volt heavy, but considering it is a HiPro, I'm going to say it's a pretty dang reliable unit. So yeah, I'm seeing dates of 2004 to 2005 on these caps. So like I said, I don't know if I've ever, I have opened this thing up before, but I don't know if I've ever done a YouTube video about it before. But I figured when we had that stink bug in there, I was like, you know what, let's just shoot a quick little video while I open this thing up. So yeah, in case you never knew, apparently HiPro did supply units to the retail sector. It's just, this one here is not branded as a HiPro, it's branded as a Sunus Suntek. And I think, I forget how many years ago it was, I was on Newegg looking for parts, and I think Newegg for a little while was actually selling HiPro power supplies. I can't remember for sure if they were branded as HiPro or if they were sold under alternate brand name. I can't remember for sure, but I can say though it's interesting seeing a HiPro that was not an OEM unit. That being said, try to get you a good look at this thing, because I know I've been chatting most of the time and not really paying too much attention to the camera screen. But so I don't have, I mean, I do have some HiPro power supplies kicking around, but I don't have one that's exactly similar to this one. This is a little older design, but nonetheless it's a HiPro. Now normally I would consider recapping this thing because it's got TiPo caps in it, but considering all the capacitors in this unit look fine and the unit works fine, I'm gonna probably just leave it be. Like I say, the fan in this one does run at a bit higher speed than the HiPro units I've worked with from OEM systems. The OEM HiPros are also really good too. So anyways, I'm going to put the cover back on this and put it back on the shelf. Like I mentioned, I might actually try it out in Altiplex 390, see how it runs. I will have to add some SATA connectors. I could either use some Alexa SATA adapters, or I could actually splice in some SATA connectors on this thing, because it doesn't have any. It's got a bunch of Molex connectors from the era that it's from. Just before SATA hard drives really started to come to surface, I mean, 2004, 2005. I mean, we were still using IDE drives back then. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to CubeComputer channel, and be sure to tick the bell. That way you get notified of new video posts. Also, I recommend following CubeComputer Company on Facebook. A link is in the video description. In addition to computer tech videos, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX. Links are available at the end of this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching and your support.